Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
All right, guys, welcome in on a very happy Monday. I believe Monday it is April the 18th, and the playoffs in the association are underway, and we got a couple of these game ones out. As a matter of fact, all the game ones are out. We've got a couple of game twos here tonight we're going to take a look at. We're going to break down some of these with three of the finest all season long in the association as we welcome in the Monday gang. Andy Lang in the house. Tony Mejia is still counting that money from the weekend, as is Rob Vino backing up the Brinks truck here. Gentlemen, a very happy Monday to you. We love $9 Monday at Wager Talk too, because best bets are $9 there. And Andy, do you have anything up at WagerTalk.com for us?
Absolutely. We got a 5% play that is up on WagerTalk.com right now. We had a losing play of the day on Saturday. Came back with a 2-0 day in the NBA. Our play of the day was the Celtics over 114.5, which we cashed on a certain Jason Tatum layup. Which
wow.
that basket cashed the Celtics team total over, Tatum points over, and Marcus Smart assists over. An incredible basket there. So, but we're ready to go tonight. Feeling great. We had a great weekend in NASCAR, great weekend in golf. So, looking forward to cashing a 5% play tonight. Only $9.
Oh, I love it. $9, guys. $9 Monday. And Tony Mejia, he knows the thing about cashing a ticket or two. Another 5%. Cha-ching, my friend. Congrats. What do you got following it up now, man? What do you got for us here today at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, it was a quite sweaty evening, but we made it through. And today, two 4% plays to highlight tonight's playoff action. And again, $9 for all of it. So you get my top props, one total, and the other plays that I really like. And yeah, it was a very interesting weekend. Besides all of my plays, the only series price I played was the Nets getting plus 125 against the Celtics. So I did not like that basket that Andy was celebrating. And look, if you watch the replay, which I have like 15,000 times, it was Kyrie Irving's fault because he was ball watching. And if he's more alert and gets to that pass, even knocks it through, the Nets are up 1-0 right now, and he played a marvelous game. So, I'm not really knocking him too much. But yeah, it was a lapse on defense and a fantastic play by Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum. But hopefully we get more of those this week. NBA playoffs off to a rousing start. Timberwolves over the Grizz surprised me, but everything else pretty much status quo outside of the 76ers answering the bell, and we'll talk about them shortly.
I was laughing. It's hard to fault Kyrie because without him, that game's over in the third quarter. But it was still an exciting weekend there, Rob Vino, not only in the NBA, but MLB. We had USFL. We got a whole lot going on here in the middle of April. And what do you got for us tonight for a $9 Monday at Wager Talk?
Hey, we are up and ready, Joe. NBA is up. I think there's definitely two best bets, 5 plays in all. I believe 2 of them are props. The other 3 are involving side or total. So, yeah, we're ready to roll. I feel for Tony rewatching the play that costs you 15,000 times so we can figure out who we want to blame the most for screwing us on any given play. The weather affected the final game of the USFL this weekend, right? Pittsburgh, they get rescheduled to tonight against Tampa Bay. But I thought, and we were talking a little bit off air here, I thought it was pretty competitive football for the most part. Offenses played better than I think I expected for the first week of the USFL, so maybe that's a sign of things to come. Baseball, of course, center stage over the weekend, as well as the NBA playoffs. So look forward to these game twos, Joe. We'll see if they hold serve or if things turn around here starting tonight.
Yeah, it's always it's an interesting situation, guys, when we get to these game twos, especially early on in the playoffs, because 2 words: zigzag. And will there be any zigzagging here tonight with these gentlemen? We're going to find out here as we take a look at game number 1, or game number 2, rather, here, game 1 for our show. How about Toronto taking on the Sixers? And I know there's a word for it here where whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And that's exactly what happened for Toronto, because just not a good day. Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., I believe Thaddeus Young, all doubtful, if not already out. We got injuries, illnesses, and we've got a bit of an ass whooping that took place there. So not great news for Toronto heading into a game 2. This has gone up to 7.5. It opened up 6.5, but of course the Scotty Barnes injury report, when Embiid lands on you, it probably hurts, and looks like it hurt. So none of those guys available here, Andy, puts Toronto in a tough spot. But I got to believe that opens up the door for some props in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, there's always going to be some props in a marquee game like this. Couple of them, I got to start with Joel Embiid, but I'm actually going to look at his rebounds instead of his points or his PRA. I'm going to single out rebounds. So he had 15 rebounds last game, and the books have his total set at 13.5. I just think with the shorthanded Toronto team, that's such a mismatch, especially inside. And Embiid is just taller, bigger, and stronger than these guys. I think the offense of Toronto could be a little bit disrupted. We may see a few more missed shots, which would give a few more rebounding opportunities. Embiid had a pretty easy game. Didn't need to do a whole lot because he got contributions from other guys. I think this 13.5 is pretty low. I like the 15 rebounds over. And to my eye, Van Vliet just doesn't look healthy and explosive. You go back to the regular season and, you're seeing his last game of the season, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 9. He's got, 19 points, 12 points, 14 points. He had a 5-point game when he got hurt early against the Pacers. There's just something not right with him. And game 1, he goes for 18, 6, and 1. And the books have his PRA at 30.5. That sounds like a big number. I think they may be just thinking, well, he's going to be one of the guys that's healthy enough to play. Maybe he'll go over. Not me. I'll take the under on him. I need to wait and see a big game from him. I need to see some explosiveness. He doesn't look right. Give me Van Fleet under.
Ooh, like it. All right, fading Van Fleet there in the prop market. Not a bad approach there. But Tony Mejia, I can't remember the last time we were talking about a blowout win for the Sixers, and Embiid and Harden had really no conversation. It was Maxey to the rescue here, and I doubt very much he can keep that up. But what do you think here in this game number 2? Has the market overreacted, side, total, in your opinion?
Not really. I mean, Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, 23 for 35 from the field. So you get that from them, you're going to win the most games. We'll see if that occurs again tonight. But certainly, it's a huge blow to lose Scotty Barnes. He's your more versatile defender. He is a willing playmaker, a rebounder, somebody that can start the break, irreplaceable. And so you also lose Gary Trent Jr. because he is not going to make it after, or considered doubtful, but doubtful to out because of some issue going on with him. So I believe it's an illness. So right now it's Nick Nurse trying to find who he's going to mix in there with Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet. You're going to see OG Anunoby, and I've got a prop on him as my best bet. It's a client play, and we'll give it out free on the show. But who else is going to play? You got Chris Boucher, you've got Precious Achiuwa. You can go a little bigger with Kem Birch, but you're going to need now shooters without a Trent out there. So do we see more of Malachi Flynn? Certainly, it's going to be a Nick Nurse game, and that's the expectation for most NBA observers, is that he'll have something up his sleeve to try to slow down Philadelphia's efficiency. And again, as far as overreaction goes, I don't think we've seen much. The Sixers were favored by 5 in game one. They had 69 first half points, so now they're favored by 7.5, and there's an injury in play. So really, no overreaction there. And as far as the total goes, closed 216 in game one, went way over the posted total. And in game two, actually, most of the money came in on the under early. It was down under like 215, I believe, for a little while. Now it's ratcheted back up into towards the 216 range. So I don't think there's any overreaction there. And it'll be interesting to see if the Raptors can get production without Barnes, without Trent, to get that as high as it needs to be. I would think under is the lean, but I'm certainly not touching that.
Yeah, I believe game one still had under 100 possessions there, Rob, but both teams ridiculously efficient offensively. So I don't know if they can keep that up. I do think that we're probably looking at maybe less points than we got in game one, but how do you approach it?
Well, these playoff series are always a little bit tricky, right, Joe? There was a day years ago where you just come back and play the other side after they've lost, and as you referred to, zigzag theory. I don't know that applies as much anymore, but certainly sense of urgency applies, and that's what we saw out of Philadelphia in game one. And it's funny how the pendulum has swung immediately in this series, right? Heading into this series, it's like the Sixers have to win game one, and in all likelihood show sense of urgency for game two, because when they head to Toronto, they have no Matisse Thybulle. Doc Rivers has really emphasized that since finding out about it when they played in Toronto regular season. Anticipation has him playing Danny Green in the starting lineup for last 8 games or so. So I think that sense of urgency for Philadelphia was there in game one, but now with the Toronto injuries, do you lay back a little bit? I don't know. Trying to get inside players' heads is a real difficult thing to do. But I will say this. It's not difficult to get inside Philadelphia 76er fans' heads, because one of the first texts I get on Sunday morning after they won 131-111 was, who will the Sixers get in the next round? I'm thinking, you won a game, dude.
Settle down.
Certainly the fans are looking ahead, right? And the sense of urgency now goes to Toronto here tonight. If Philadelphia still feels like they need to win every home game, which they should feel that way, then you get two teams playing with full focus, and you get a pretty good game. I agree with a lot of what was said ahead of me. Toronto is so shy at guard. Never mind just depth shy, but it's really guard. There's cluster injury there. And it's Fred VanVleet, who Andy rightly pointed out doesn't look right. There's Armani Brooks, who had some minutes in Houston, but really hasn't had many minutes here in Toronto. And Malachi Flynn, like Tony points out, those are your 3 guards. If James Harden doesn't have a really nice game here tonight, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if Tyrese Maxey can repeat what he did in the last game. Very nice player, but those numbers were sensational. Still a 7-game series. I think it has to be one of those games where Toronto, with the amount of bigs that they have, tries to slow things down. I could see first quarter under, kind of getting off as a slugfest. I could see full game under. The problem you have with it, as was pointed out to me a little bit earlier from our colleague Marco D'Angelo, is if Toronto gets in chase mode, all of that slow down, controlled tempo stuff goes out the window, because you have to catch up. If they keep it close, though, this could be a low-scoring game to the finish here. Like I said, if I was playing a player prop, I think I would be on Harden points and assists. Looks like a pretty good game for him. There's really nobody that can guard him right now.
Yeah, it's a tough spot here for Toronto, but urgency for sure. They need to get one here, but having to get one, needing to get one, and actually getting it is woo, two different things here in the NBA, but should be a good one tonight. We have another game 2, of course, coming up, and this, what a weird game this was. How about the Utah Jazz taking on the Dallas Mavericks, game 2 of this set? Dallas was so close to getting one there without Luka Doncic. Unfortunately, they just couldn't make enough shots down the stretch. So game 1 goes to Utah. Game 2 opens up at 5, and I'm still seeing 5s. It closed 5.5 first game. 204 as an opening total. Seeing 205, anywhere in between there, maybe getting pushed up just a hair. But what do we do here, Andy, from a prop betting perspective? You're looking at Dallas. You're looking at Utah. Who do you focus on here?
Yeah, tough game here. When you look at props, first you got to look at game script and try and figure out, how does Dallas pull off the win here? I mean, it's basically a kitchen sink type of game, and they've got to they have to have a big game from either Dinwiddie or Brunson. I think I'm looking at their stats right now. Brunson played 41 minutes, Dinwiddie 36. They shot the ball okay, but in the end, they both combined for 46 points. And with the roster as built now with Dallas, they can't just have 46 points. They have to go more. The problem is I don't know which one is going to be capable of doing that tonight. So I find this game a little bit difficult to handicap from the props. But the other Gobert 0 for 1 from the field. Is that going to continue, or is this So and then you got Donovan Mitchell, who didn't find a shot he didn't like in that game, only made 10 of them, yet still scored 32 points. So I find this game a little bit difficult. There's a couple good spots. One of them, I'm going to go to Dwight Powell under 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He wasn't even in foul trouble, and he only played 22 minutes in game 1, and he really didn't do anything. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Gobert, as we all know, can just be suffocating inside. I just don't think this is a good series matchup for him. And if they get behind, Powell's not your guy to be eating up a lot of minutes. You got to try and bring in somebody, whether it's, Kleber or maybe you throw a Hail Mary with Bertans to come in and maybe he can make some threes. But it's not a good series, not a good matchup for Powell. I'll take him under 17.5 PRA.
9 of 31 from 3. That is not going to get it done if you are Dallas. You need to hit some of those shots. Listen, they did a good job of limiting the three-point shots and, efficiency from Utah, certainly early enough. But can they get a few more buckets in this one and sneak a win out before they head to Utah?
Yeah, Friday's show, I said Reggie Bullock is going to be the X factor for Dallas until Luka gets back, because he really has to pick up the scoring slack. I think he had 15 points in that game, and he's a threat to shoot it. He's got to really let it go because he's their best and most consistent shooter. I mean, everybody forgets Tim Hardaway Jr. is also out. So you've got Brunson and Dinwiddie, whose strength are both getting into the paint and getting others involved. And yeah, they're reliable enough to hit floaters and such, but it makes it far more difficult when Rudy Gobert is patrolling the paint, and they both felt his presence in that game. We started off the playoffs with a losing prop on Gobert that this one field goal attempt. I had him over 28.5 points and rebounds, and he had 17 rebounds. So on a normal night, he would have killed that total. Instead, he ended up with just 5 points, all on free throws. But he still impacted the game tremendously. And we saw, the game plan for Utah is to make Dallas work on both ends of the floor. So offensively, they were a little more methodical. Mitchell was terrible in the first half and then really got into his rhythm in that third quarter. You saw Mike Conley was very aggressive. Bogdanovich played well. And yet, down the stretch, the cover was still in play. In fact, the game result was still in doubt until the final few minutes. And Bogdanovich got hammered, should have gotten a call there late and did not. And then you saw that Dallas couldn't make a basket, which killed their chances to both cover the spread and make a comeback. So it ended up being a 6-point margin of victory with a 5.5 point spread. I think Utah can space out this result, But certainly, if Dallas gets 3-pointers from Bertans and Bullock, they can make this a game, and they're looking to steal it. No Doncic today means he will look to play in Game 3, and I think it's almost a must that he gets out there in Game 3 if they're down 2-zip, because what's the point in coming back if you're down 3-zip, which would certainly be the case in Salt Lake City if he's unable to play later in the week.
I will say this: he was quite enjoying the popcorn watching the game there, Doncic, Rob Vino. So no real sense of urgency. I didn't feel it there watching me at the game, but yeah, there's a good chance here. It may be a few more games before we're able to see him. But Jalen Brunson, 24 points, was the leading scorer, but it took 24 shots to get those 24 points, Rob. He's got to be more efficient. Dinwiddie's got to be more efficient. Do they have it in them, you think, to steal one at home before heading to Utah?
Yeah, well, I think, again, the simplistic way to handicap it, Joe, would be they only lost by 6, playing subpar, and they're getting 5 tonight if they could play a basket better. Spencer Dinwiddie took a lot of the blame on his own shoulders because he missed 6 free throws.
Yep.
He got to the line 16 times. Said that missing 6 was unacceptable. I mean, 6 would have tied it. Not that you're supposed to shoot 100% from the line, but it would have been underneath the number, and Dallas would have got the cover. In response to a lot of what I heard the two guys ahead of me say, Andy had the Dwight Powell under. It's interesting how quickly they adjusted that number. I played Dwight Powell under on Saturday, under 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Tonight it's 17.5. They knocked 3 off it right away. Key statistic about Dwight Powell, where efficiency numbers are concerned. He's a very good player when he's on the floor with Luka Doncic. Without Luka Doncic, of all starters in the NBA, Dwight Powell falls to become the 3rd worst efficiency starter in the NBA. So you can see it. When he's not involved in pick and roll with Luka on the offensive end, he's worthless, and he's absolutely, it's like staring at an eclipse when he's behind Rudy Gobert. So it's hard for him. Maxi Kleber came back, didn't really do much to help. Maybe his second game back, he will do some more. Heading into that game, Dallas beat writers were suggesting that the Dallas Mavericks game plan was to push the pace in order to get Rudy Gobert off the floor. If you're running up and down, and Gobert can't keep up, he's useless on the floor. So they would have to go small to match. I'm not saying that they should go 94 feet for 48 minutes, but I think Dallas has to selectively run because they contested Gobert in the half-court offense multiple times in that game, and they either got rejected, shots altered. Nothing good happened when they challenged Rudy Gobert in the half-court. So we'll see if they can get a couple of easy baskets here. Joe, the first half total, this will make you smile, is 99.5 in this game.
I know exactly it. I was waiting to see if anybody was going best bet.
1990s basketball.
Come on.
Come on. It's 99.5. Come on. Everybody shot miserably the first game. I understand they're 2 slow-paced teams, but 99.5 seems like you have to go ahead and cherry-pick that. Dorian Finney-Smith, if you're playing props, and again, his points, rebounds, and assists, or points and rebounds are only 18.5. Another interesting statistic where he's concerned, he's the only player in NBA history of the NBA, to increase his field goal percentage and his 3-point field goal percentage in 5 consecutive years. He just gets better and better at shooting the basketball. He's already a lockdown defender, and I think that's important tonight because his assignment is Bogdanovic, who had 26 in game 1 on 11 for 20 shooting. They can't let Bogdanovic go off and Mitchell go off. Utah became really a 3-headed offensive team in that game. If you look, Bogdanovic, Mitchell, and Conley took 73% of the shots, scored 71% of the points. Andy talked about the 0 for 1 out of Rudy Gobert, but his 17 rebounds. And Tony, I feel you're paying there because I had the same Rudy Gobert points and rebounds play on Saturday. Dallas is saying tonight that they got to keep him off the offensive glass, but he had 17 rebounds and only 2 were offensive. He had 15 defensive rebounds. So he's probably going to get a bunch again, a lot of 1 and out for Dallas. I do think they should push it a little bit. I think +5 could be the way to look here. The sense of urgency lies with the Mavericks. And if Utah's going to give all the shots to those three guys, and Finney Smith can play any defense at all, which I think he can, on Bogdanovich, then Dallas has a chance to even win this game at home.
It's interesting, too, a couple of the other numbers. Dallas took 34 free throws in game one, and Utah all year long was really good in not putting putting teams on the free throw line. So are they going to get another 34? And if they're not, who the hell's going to make up those points? So a couple of different interesting ways to look at this game here tonight, guys. Either way, it's going to be like watching paint dry. So get ready for it. Let's move on. Game number 3 here tonight. Game number 2 in game 3 on the show. Let's take a look at Golden State. What's old is new again. And, well, there's some new parts to that Golden State Warrior team. Taking on the Denver Nuggets, 7.5 as an opening number. I'm seeing a lot of 7s pretty much consensus-wise with that total. Way down from that opening of 2. I'm only kidding. There is a 222.5 that seems to be popping up here as well. So little movement in the marketplace towards the under. Domination, to say the least, Andy Lang by Golden State in that first game. Who do you look at in this one from a prop perspective?
Well, I find that this matchup pretty interesting to watch. I really liked what Golden State did on defense. I thought they did a good job taking away some of the cutting and slashing. We saw Jokic with only 6 assists. And I actually wanted to take his under tonight at 50.5 points, rebounds, assists. And you look at it and, he was only 12 of 25 from the field. He only had 25 points. And you look and, he had 10 rebounds and 6 assists. So he 41 PRA just on a game that he didn't play very good. I don't think it's that far of a stretch to think he gets over his 50.5. So it's a stay away from me. I don't think Jordan Poole's going to score like that. I do think Aaron Gordon's under is replicable throughout this series. I like his under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He only played 26 minutes, scored 8 points, had 5 rebounds. And like I said, I thought Golden State did a great job taking away the cutters and the slashers. Aaron Gordon's not a guy to stand outside the arc and, bang out 3-pointers. He's not great at creating his own shot. That's not what they want from him in this offense. If he only plays 26 minutes again or around there, I think he's going under pretty easily. So give me Aaron Gordon under 23.5. And here's a little sneaky one on Jordan Poole over 3.5 rebounds. He only had 1 rebound. Well, he only had 1 rebound in game 1, but coming into that game, he'd gone over in 10 straight. So it feels like that one. Yeah, it feels like that 1 rebound game is a little bit of an aberration. So if I'm taking Jordan Poole, it's probably not going to be points. I think he regresses back a little bit, but maybe his over his rebounds might be sneaky.
That's a great call there, Andy. Good spot by you. Tony Mejia, talk to me here. Listen, we won't watch Denver at the end of this season, right? March, right through. There is no defense. Let's be realistic here. And I don't think we're going to see any better defense tonight from Denver. So that means the offense is going to have to get a lot better here. And we all know what that means. So how do you approach this? Is it Jokic or not in a spot tonight? Or do you think we're going to get exactly what we just saw?
No, definitely not exactly what we just saw, because even Steve Kerr said, I put my life on Nikola Jokic getting more than 2 free throw attempts in this game. And on a related note, your refs for this game, Kane Fitzgerald, Curtis Blair, and Kevin Cutler. Fitzgerald, somewhat a problem. The biggest problem ref tonight is Ed Malloy. He's in the Mavs game. That'll be fun to watch. But it'll dictate a lot, because if Gobert can't stay on the floor because he wants to play ref show like Scott Foster does, then that'll be an issue for Utah. But in this, as far as this game is concerned, you do expect Nikola Jokic to be more productive. Andy broke down his stats, but they're all decent stats: 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 25, 26 points, but all underneath his season averages. So he's got to produce a little more. They got a very productive game out of Will Barton. We'll see if that continues. Barton, really is that second guy if Aaron Gordon continues to struggle. 24.6 rebounds, 5 assists, hit a couple of threes, 10 of 18 from the field. So you got what you wanted out of Will Barton, and you still really fell apart after that start. First quarter and first half bets kind of on pause, because you don't know if Steph Curry is going to start this game or they will continue with Jordan Poole in the lineup. It really worked out to where Steph's entrance into the game halfway through that first quarter ended up serving as a jolt because they were down at that point. And they were down for most of that first half until a late first half run. The Nuggets went scoreless for nearly 4 minutes, and a 12-2 run for the Warriors really put that away. And in the second half, they were only not up by double digits for a brief spell, really controlled that game, put it on vice lock. The new death lineup for Golden State, which is something that we all need to be aware of going forward, plus 13 over a 4-minute span. That's Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole playing the roles that Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala played back in the day with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. So that was interesting. Wiggins offers a new dynamic there, and it's a tough matchup for the Denver Nuggets to match up with if Aaron Gordon does not play well. Gordon's obviously the X factor here. If he can turn it around from game one, then I think Denver can be competitive. If not, they'll go down 0-2 and back to the drawing board where they can get back into the series in Denver with that home court edge and the altitude. But as far as getting stealing a game tonight, it'll be based on whether Nikola Jokic can get to the line and Aaron Gordon can be productive in a 15-plus point score.
Yeah, Golden State threw out that the old new death lineup, Rob Vito. I love that when you were reminded of that. Welcome to Golden State ball, and they just hammered Detroit when it was out. Denver when it was out on the court. I think outscored them by 14 in just about 5 minutes. So does Denver have enough? Do they have something left in the tank here to make this competitive, if not steal one, or are they going back home down 2-0?
Yeah, Joe, I don't think you're going to see anything different in this game than you saw in game one, other than where the total is concerned. When we talked about this game Friday, and boy, I wish Ski was here because we'll talk about that death lineup in a second. But, you get 230 points and a pretty slight first half. It was 58-47 at the end of the first half, only 105. But then second half turns into a 65-60 game, which is what I think you'll see much more of here tonight. Again, I'll just repeat what I said the other day. The interior belongs to the Denver Nuggets. There's just no way. And Tony's absolutely right. Aaron Gordon's supposed to be better. I was on here Friday saying that the two best rebounders in this game belong to Denver, Jokic and Gordon. The reason why they go with that depth lineup, and this is for Ski, because of his bitch-ass Kevon Looney, right? Kevon Looney plays only 13 minutes. They don't need him on the floor. 13 minutes in that game, they went small. And again, to be repetitive, Golden State's perimeter, I thought at that time, could abuse Denver's perimeter. They did. If Jordan Poole doesn't shoot the way he did the other night, then Klay Thompson will shoot the way Jordan Poole did the other night, or Steph Curry will shoot the way Jordan. One of those three, because there's so many openings perimeter-wise against Denver, is going to be hot. And God forbid 2 or all 3 are hot at the same time. Then Golden State's going to rack up really huge numbers. They racked up 123 as it is. I just don't think Denver will be held to 107 tonight because, again, as you guys pointed out, Jokic shooting 2 free throws in 34 and a half minutes is ridiculous. Nobody shot well from 3. If I just combine the people that need to help, and I'm kind of sick of asking Monte Morris to help because he's been such a failure perimeter shooting-wise this year. Again, he's 1 of 5 from three-point land. Bones Highland was only 2 of 7. Jokic himself 0 for 4. Will Barton good a night as he had 2 for 6 from 3. They're probably going to make more shots, guys. Their team total is 107.5. They scored 107 the other night. They probably get a little more than that. I think Golden State gets the same. This total went down for reasons, I don't know, unbeknownst to me, but I really think it's all based off of Steph Curry. Steph Curry may not start in this game, so we better bet the total down. Seems a little ridiculous. He's going to get his minutes. I think this game goes over. I don't think you see anything different than the 230 points you saw first time around.
All right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not expecting a whole lot different here tonight with the Warriors and the Nuggets. So we got 3 game 2s on tap here tonight. Plus, we've got a $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com, which means all 3 of these gentlemen, their best bets tonight across all sports $9 if you head over there and visit Andy Lang, Tony Mejia, Rob Vino. Just $9, guys. Their best bets. Gotta love $9 Monday here as we embark on game 2s here tonight in the association. So let's talk some best bets here now, guys. 3 games, 3 opportunities, a lot of different ways to approach it. So, Andy, talk to me, man. 60 seconds. Where are you going for a best bet tonight? Which one of these games?
Well, Joe, I got to defend Luka Doncic there. I mean, it was free refills, popcorn right there. So I mean, you can't pass up free popcorn. And, and all doctors will tell you the best thing when healing from a calf injury is as much salt as possible. That's good. Really good hydration around a pulled muscle. Pump in the sweet tea as well there, Luka. All right, so 5% play is up at WagerTalk.com. Coming up a really nice 2-0 day yesterday and Sunday. Love the play tonight. Best bet for today, I like Tobias Harris to have another nice game. 9-14 from the field for 26 points, and they have his point total at 15.5. I think with the injuries to Toronto, they're going to have to do something extra on Embiid and something extra on Harden. They have no depth at guard like Rob was talking about. I think that opens up some role player points. I look for Tobias Harris to get over 15.5.
Love that. Yeah, he did kind of bring in his own bag. So that was, it is free refills. That's like a 7-Eleven Slurpee. Just bring the cup in. They're going to fill it up for you. Tony Mejia, talk to us here, man. 60 seconds on the clock. Where are you going tonight?
All right, I'm going to that Toronto-Philly game. Just a reminder, It's $9 Monday, so you can get all of tonight's plays in both baseball and the NBA for $9, separate packages. And a USFL play is out there. I'll give it out for free. I like the Tampa Bay Bandits minus the 5.5, 6 from the postponed game last night. And as far as the NBA goes, 10 units up so far in the playoffs. So we'll look to continue that tonight. A client play that I will have in that package, OG Anunoby to top 17.5 points. He had 20 in game 1. No Gary Trent and no Scotty Barnes tonight, which means that Philadelphia will be able to blitz Fred VanVleet, get the ball out of his hands, get the ball out of Siakam's hands. Somebody has to score. Anunoby was 9 of 15, 2 for 5 for 3. And actually, since he came back from his injury, has been shooting the 3-ball extremely well. We'll go the over with 17.5 points for OG Anunoby tonight.
All right, OG getting it done. Somebody's got to get it done for Toronto. All right, Rob Vino, come on, man. 60 seconds. If you're going loony over rebounds, Skis wants to have a word with you afterwards here. So 60 seconds. Talk to me. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Dallas-Utah game, Joe, and I'm going to lean on a prop for Spencer Dinwiddie here. Points, rebounds, and assists over 32.5. It was 31.5 during game 1. He did go over that number. He got to 34. He got to that point by missing all 4 3-pointers and by missing 6 of 16 free throws. I'd expect he gets the same number of shots up here tonight. He had 15. He probably gets a few more up. But he's been their point guard. He's their one guy that can create off the dribble on that team. You see by the 16 free throws that it causes a slow-footed Utah team a little bit of trouble. I don't think there's anybody on the perimeter that can handle him. So I'm going to look for him to combine all 3 categories and get up and over 32.5. I think it'll be a big game for him here. Somebody's got to pick up the slack for Dallas, and I think it's probably going to be here. Somebody's got to lead the pack, really, and I think it'll be him. So give me Dinwiddie over 32.5 PRA.
All right, I will say this, too, because I'll lead the pack here, Rob Vino. 99.5 friggin' points in the first half. All right, people? Like, are you serious? Damn, give me the over. All right, guys, to recap it one more time for you. Let's check it out here. Andy Lang likes Tobias Harris over 15.5 points. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if the Sixers now got their money's worth out of Tobias Harris from this point on? That would be fantastic here. Tony Mejia going to the OG today, over 16.5 points now for Toronto. Somebody better get over 16.5 points for Toronto tonight. And Rob Vino, he likes Tony Finn's Dinwaddle along with Dinwiddie. They can combine for over 32.5 PRA. He is good to go. And just a quick reminder, 99.5 friggin' points in the first half. I'm just throwing it out there for you guys. $9 best bets. Let us not forget that also over at WagerTalk.com. I do believe Andy Lang offering up free popcorn as well. So if you visit his page, he's ready to go, as is Tony Mejia and Rob Vino. And again, that 5% best bet of Andy's ready to rock, guys, over at WagerTalk.com. All right, this should be an awful lot of fun here, guys. 3 games tonight. We got 3 more tomorrow, which means we'll be back here with the OG crew tomorrow here on the NBA Tip-Off Show. We'll break those games down for you. We'll recap what we see tonight, and hopefully we'll all be running to the window to cash those tickets. So on behalf of Andy Lang, Tony Mejia, and Rob Vino, guys, we appreciate you hanging with us. 99.5 points. Best of luck with your plays here tonight, guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.